Fraser McGrogan, the Executive Director of the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for joining us today for another episode of the Leveling Up podcast. Now, if you're just tuning in, we've had this podcast going for a little bit of time now. It's taken on a few different lives. We used to have a longer shows that we did in studio, and then we did our Leveling Up series at the beginning of the pandemic. We wanted to make sure that we were bringing all of our member businesses and organizations to you, so you knew how you could access them and knew how their services were available to you in this area. So please, while you're taking a look at the show today, maybe make a note to go back and check those out on greateruticachamber.org. You can see all of our past episodes there. Or if you'd rather listen to the audio version, we're available on Google, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you digest your podcasts. You can go ahead and look up the show. And we would so appreciate it if you would subscribe to the show. These are just great ways to make sure that you're in touch with our business community. You know, throw them on while you're cooking dinner, taking a walk on the treadmill outside. Great way to just catch up and make sure you're in the know and can support all of our businesses and organizations. So today we are here with another special edition of the Leveling Up podcast. And now we are featuring our Business of the Year finalists. So from now up until our award show, which is going to be taking place on Tuesday, December 15th from 7 to 8 p.m. on CBS-Utica, we are going to be featuring all of our finalists. So you can get to know them a little bit better before the award show. And then on the show, we will be not only featuring these finalists, but we'll be unveiling our winners. So it's going to be a great 1 hour special, a real feel good episode of pretty much a culmination of all of these episodes leading up to the 15th, and a great way to support our businesses and celebrate all of their accomplishments in what has been a very tough year for most of them. So please tune in and join us on the 15th. But for today, we are going to be talking with Jennifer Keida from Standard Insulating. Jennifer, thank you so much for being with me today.
Thanks, Megan. Thanks for having me.
Well, congratulations, first of all, on being a finalist.
Thank you. It's very exciting to have heard. Thank you.
Yeah. So tell us about your role at Standard Insulating. You know, what's your title? What do you do there? You're a great family-owned business. And tell us all about what Standard Insulating does. If nobody has ever heard about you guys before, let everybody know what you do in the community.
Sure. I am the president and CEO. I took that position just the beginning of this year, and my partner and I bought the company out. So Rich Waite and I own Standard Insulating now. For those of you that don't know what Standard Insulating is we obviously insulate homes and commercial buildings and pretty much anything that needs insulation. But we also are a heating and air conditioning company as well. That started for us about 3 years ago. So it was something really nice to incorporate in people's home comfort and being able to offer a whole house solution. But Standard Insulating actually started in 1928, and my family purchased the business in 1980, and I have been involved in it. And on the first week in December will be my 20th year anniversary there. So wow. I played lots of roles. And so currently I essentially run the business directive. So sales and marketing and operations of the office and what kind of direction we're going in. While my partner runs the actual operations, where the guys that do the installing and the inventory and the trucks and all the good stuff there. So, so actually this was really exciting for us because we crossed over 50 employees last year. So we started off as a very small business. When I joined the company 20 years ago, there was less than 20 of us, and we kind of stayed that way. And so we've built the company, and last year, just the beginning of the year, we crossed over 50 employees. So, and wow. currently we're just over 60. So it's a really exciting time for us.
That's awesome. And I know we did a ribbon cutting for you guys for your showroom, which is beautiful.
Yes, thank you. Fortunately, COVID has kind of restricted us from being able to use that the way we were intending it to be used. But yeah, we wanted to have a welcome center because we are advocates for a lot of our customers and researching and identifying different rebates and different programs that could help them with any kind of energy efficiency upgrades. So in a lot of cases, we're just sitting down and talking with them and helping them through a lot of processes. So we wanted a comfortable space for them to come and sit down with us. Now they do that, but there's a nice plexiglass wall between us now instead.
Yeah, but I think that that's really important to highlight as one of the things that sets you apart from your competition in the area, that you guys are, very forward about the fact that you're there to help people understand what's available to them,
Right.
because, they might be sitting there stressed out hearing about your services thinking, well, I could never afford that. But that's a big piece of your business, is making sure to work with them.
Absolutely. It's actually probably the largest part of the business, is just helping people understand what's in, first what's important to their home, how their home works, and then putting those pieces together and helping them determine what's prioritizing for them versus, what's offering for them too. And we can fold over a lot of different programs together, and it's a lot of orchestrating, but it really is so eventful when we know that we've helped people get things that they never would have gotten on their own, or have improved their home in maybe a way that they never would have had they not found all those opportunities. So it is it's very fulfilling for sure.
Yeah, that's great. Now we touched on this a little bit before we got on the podcast today, but how is your business doing? I know, unfortunately in this year, we're all focused on the whole COVID impact of everybody's business, but, I guess touch on that a little bit, but aside, and I'm asking everybody to do that, because I think that is important to hear how you guys have, adapted to that, but how is everything going in general for Standard?
Well, really, because of the transition that we made this year, we had a new business plan to implement, and we actually used the downtime when we were shut down for COVID to really put together a really great plan, do some investigating. It gave us an opportunity to kind of take a breath and see where we wanted to go. And so we've been investing in the company a lot. We brought on a lot of new trucks. We brought on a lot of new people. We're looking at expanding in different markets. And so I think that actually it gave us an opportunity to really take a breath and figure out where we wanted to go, which would be awesome for any company to do. Most of us are so busy that we don't give ourselves that time to do it. So we utilize that time correctly. And really, when we opened back up in phase one, we just kind of launched, and we're having the best year we've ever had. And, a lot of that is attributed to the fact that people are at home, and the comfort of their home is more important than it's ever been. We had one of the hottest summers that we've ever seen, and we're preparing for one of the coldest and snowiest winters that we've seen in a long time too. So so we're preparing for that.
I know the show, as we know, is not going to air today. We're pre-recording some of these episodes for those listening, but today, Friday, October 30th, it is supposed to snow here. So maybe a great time for people to be considering their insulating of their homes. This is when the phone rings the most. That first snow is when we get, and I thought, it's going to be on a Friday, but I know, right? Well, it's still not doing anything, but I think you probably hope that it does something, so people are thinking about it, right?
I know, exactly.
So Jennifer, tell us about, what you've already mentioned is something I think to be very proud of, that you guys took that opportunity and saw the silver lining in that to plan for the future of the company. Is there anything else that you're particularly proud of that Standard has endured or accomplished? It doesn't have to be in 2020, but in the recent future? Or recent past, I should say. We've accomplished a lot in this past year and even the last couple of years. But I think one of the things that I'm most proud of right now is that we did a pivot, and we really started focusing on our employees and what we could do to make this a better place to work. Of course, we had to deal with COVID and make it a good place to work from home in some cases, but also really focusing on what issues our employees were having, whether it be here at work or at home, focusing on things like the virtual schools for some of our employees with kids, mental health, all those kinds of things. And so we implemented an EAP program, and it wasn't quite robust enough. So we really pushed hard and got an even stronger one that really will help our employees in a very confidential way receive resources and things like that. We do that for our customers, and we really wanted to make a little bit of a pivot and put the same amount of effort into our employees. And so I think when I look at that, I'm probably most proud of some of my employees who I look back at, and they started as minimum wage, helpers who are now managing multi-million-dollar divisions, have multiple certifications, have a real true career here, are proud to bring their children here to see where they work. And so I think if I look back, I think that's probably what I'm most proud of what Standard is doing now, is
giving those opportunities to people and watching people flourish, bringing new people on and seeing their eyes light up with the opportunities that they have here. I think a lot of people think insulating company, what kind of opportunities could I have there? We just hired a young man who's a software engineer who's going to be working with all of our software programs. And,
okay, cool.
Never dreamt that he could have a career at an insulating company, but now he's just so excited about all the things he can do and the opportunities he has that he wouldn't have anywhere else too. So I think that's what I am most proud of right now.
Yeah, that's so important. And I think we're seeing a lot of people really put a lot of energy into that, and I think it's been something that's been swirling around the past couple of years, but this really has forced people to take, a hard look at that because, and I think the terminology is changing, but I call it work-life balance. I think that's like now becoming a no-no, but it's still, a topic that is so important because if your employees aren't happy mentally and emotionally, it's tough to really dedicate yourself to work, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And also just letting employees know that it's okay to, reach out for help and look for opportunities for help too, because it just makes them stronger too. And so, I think that's kind of been one of my shifts is putting a lot of effort into that and giving opportunities to people who may not have thought that they could do something. We have a lot of females here who are rising in the construction industry, getting certifications that are, unusual for women to have. So that's really exciting for me to see too. So
yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, Jennifer, tell me what it means to you guys to be a Business of the Year award finalist.
I think for me, like I said earlier, it's a lot of people know our business. We are on TV and radio. I hear often, I've had coffee with you every morning. I see you every morning. So people know our company and what we do. But for the chamber to recognize us is different because they're looking at things, not just the size of us or not just the exposure that we have, but the type of company we are and the little things that we do that make us different. A lot of the extra things we do for our employees or the things we do for our community, that kind of thing. So I think that's what makes it important to me. People know who we are because we do a really good job marketing, but to be acknowledged for all the other things that people don't necessarily know about us, I think is what it makes me feel the best about somebody thinking that we deserve something like this. It's very humbling. So
yeah. That's really cool. I'm glad that you said that because it does give a little opportunity for me to mention how we kind of get to this point in the process where, if people in the community are watching this and aren't aware of how it works, anybody can, any chamber member can be nominated, but then you guys as nominees have to fill out a comprehensive form. And then that's what our organization looks at when deciding who the finalists are and ultimately the winners. And there are things in there, like you said, that might not be, public knowledge, but for you guys to share that with us so we holistically understand your business is a big piece of these awards.
Right, exactly. And that's definitely what sets us apart from anything else is that it's more of an internal view of who we are than that external view that a lot of people know about. So
now you mentioned a little bit of your marketing, speaking of the external view. So when you consider members of the community that, maybe have heard of you or maybe they haven't, what's the best way for them to take advantage of your services and kind of soup to nuts? What services would a homeowner reach out to you for?
Sure. Well, we have lots of programs we participate in. We're one of the leading contractors in the state of New York for a lot of the NYSERDA and National Grid rebate programs, other utilities as well. But really, we have a specialized way of approaching customer service. So we have teams and we assign a customer, so anybody who's interested in, to a team. And so you have a customer experience person as well as a whole house consultant that work simultaneously together to help you identify what you need. So there's somebody looking at your home, there's somebody working with you and combining the two together. So anybody who has energy problems or an uncomfortable house or wants to elevate the value of their home by investing in it, all they need to do is call. You can get on our website at standardinsulatingco.com. We have a Facebook page that can direct you to all those resources too. But just making that phone call, that first initial call will identify that person for you. And so you'll be assigned to one specific person, which means that, you have that one person to guide you through the whole process from very start all the way to the end to make sure everything is done properly and you're feeling really good about it. And those people also check in on you after we're done with the work to ensure that your expectations were met, and especially in the wintertime, see where we are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, Jennifer, you talked a lot about some changes that you guys have made, a lot of what seems like awesome improvements to the company. Looking forward into the future, anything you're excited about or anything on the horizon that you can share with us?
Well, we're most excited about our HVAC division. We approach HVAC very differently than a lot of our competitors do. Primarily, we're very customer focused. So one of the best parts of our company's HVAC division is that we have a no service fee approach, which basically means if you have a problem with your heating system or any type of equipment, typically it costs somebody $100, $200 just to have somebody come look at it. We don't have a service fee. If we can fix it in less than an hour, then it's free. Wow. And if it does need parts, then we're going to share with you what that cost is before we do it. Our techs are not incentivized to sell you anything, which is another advantage to it. So going forward, we're looking into expanding into different markets for the HVAC division. We've got, our sights set on a couple locations that are parallel to the Mohawk Valley that we can open up and develop to. So
that's awesome.
So we have some exciting things to come down in 2021.
Good. Well, we wish you luck in all of that.
Thank you.
Just real quick, I know you already mentioned the website, but just if you can give everybody the best way to get in touch with you guys. You mentioned your Facebook and all that, but give the website one more time for the people that are listening, and for those watching, we will be sure to put it up on the screen as well.
Yeah, so the best way is call us at 315-738-1424 or go to our website, which is standardinsulatingco.com. And then our Facebook page, which is Standard Insulating. You'll see a lot of our green trucks running around with the Standard because we're kind of shifting to that brand of being Standard so that we can offer a lot of different services in the future.
Great. Good. Well, we'll look forward to hearing more about that. And again, as you mentioned, the exciting announcements may be coming up in 2021. And all of you guys, whether you're watching or listening, please go on to their website and go like their Facebook page and make sure that you get all of their information coming up in the future. We, of course, invite you to join us on December 15th, which is a Tuesday, from 7 to 8 p.m. on CBS-Utica to learn more about Standard Insulating, all of our 15 finalists, and ultimately hear who our 2020 Business of the Year Award winners are. So, Jennifer, thank you so much for joining me today. Congratulations again on your nomination, and we wish you the best of luck for the awards and in the future.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Thanks, Megan.
Have a great day.
You too.